stop. Are you ready for March 11th? If you receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, you need to listen closely because a major shift is hitting bank accounts on March 11th. This isn't just another Wednesday. It is a critical deadline that could determine exactly when or if your money arrives this month. We've just received word on official changes to the 2026 payment schedule, and for millions of you, the timing has been completely overhauled. Why are some SSI recipients seeing their payments missing from the March calendar? What is this new centralized claims system that went live on March 7th, and how will it cause bottlenecks for your future benefits? Today, we are breaking down the high-impact updates you cannot afford to ignore. The March 11th payment trigger, who is getting paid today, and why your birth date is more important than ever. The double payment trap, explaining why the early SSI deposit in February means a dry spell in March. New legislation alert, the latest on the SSI Restoration Act and what it means for your asset limits and monthly checks. VA and SSDI overlaps, critical updates for veterans navigating service-connected disability and Social Security. The rules are changing, and being uninformed could cost you. We're giving you the facts so you can protect your financial future. Don't miss a single update. Hit that like button right now to help spread this urgent news to every senior and veteran who needs it. Now that we've set the stage for why March 11th is such a pivotal date, we have to dive deep into the mechanics of these changes because, for many of you, the way you interact with the Social Security Administration has fundamentally shifted as of just a few days ago. On March 7th, the agency officially retired its decades-old office-by-office scheduling model and replaced it with two massive, centralized national systems: the National Appointment Scheduling Calendar and the National Workload Management System. This is arguably the single largest operational overhaul at the Social Security Administration in over a generation. And while the agency says this will eventually lead to shorter wait times and a more efficient experience, the transition period right now is where things can get incredibly confusing for the average beneficiary. For years, if you had an issue with your benefits or needed to file a new claim, you dealt with your local field office. Those 1,230 local offices across the country operated almost like independent businesses. They booked their own appointments, managed their own backlogs, and processed claims based on the staff they had available right there in your community. That system created a massive disparity where someone in a rural area might get their claim approved in weeks, while someone in a major city could be waiting months for the exact same service. The new national model is designed to fix that by redistributing the workload in real time. This means that when you call or go online to schedule an appointment, your case might be assigned to a Social Security representative in a completely different state who has the capacity to take on new work. While this sounds great for efficiency, the hidden risk is that state-specific rules or local nuances that used to be handled by people who knew your community's specific situation might now be overseen by a stranger halfway across the country. This shift is happening right as the March 11th payment trigger hits. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of your birth month, March 11th is the day your regular Social Security or SSDI payment should hit your account. But here is where the confusion starts for many people. If you are a concurrent beneficiary, meaning you receive both Social Security and supplemental security income, or if you filed for benefits before May 1997, your payment date was actually March 3rd. If you're looking at your bank account today on the 11th and wondering where your money is, the first thing you need to check is which category you fall into. Many people who are used to a specific rhythm are finding that the new 2026 scheduling logic is causing minor stutters in how banks process these incoming direct deposits, especially with the 2.8% COLA increase that went into effect earlier this year. Speaking of that COLA increase, let's talk about the Medicare trap that is catching people off guard this month. Yes, your benefits went up by an average of $56 per month starting in January, but for many of you, that extra money is already being clawed back. In 2026, the standard Medicare Part B premium has climbed to $202.90 per month. That is a significant jump from the $185 we saw in 2025. When you see your March 11th deposit, you might notice it is slightly lower than you expected, and in almost every case, that is because the higher Medicare deduction is being taken directly off the top. It's a frustrating give and take, where the government gives a cost of living adjustment with one hand and takes a larger chunk for healthcare with the other, leaving many seniors with a net increase that feels almost invisible against the backdrop of rising grocery and energy costs. Now, we have to address the missing SSI payments that everyone is talking about. If you are on supplemental security income, you might have noticed that there is no payment scheduled for the month of March. Before you panic, there is a very specific, logical reason for this. March 1st, 2026, fell on a Sunday. According to Social Security rules, when the first of the month is a weekend or a holiday, they send the payment out on the Friday before. This means your March SSI payment actually arrived in your account on February 27th. Effectively, you got 2 payments in February and will receive 0 in March. This creates a massive budgeting trap because the next time you will see an SSI deposit is not until April 1st. That is a 5-week gap that can be devastating if you aren't prepared for it. This is why we are seeing so much urgency around the March 11th date. It marks the point where many people realize they've already spent their March money and are looking for ways to bridge the gap. This financial pressure is exactly why there is a massive, renewed push in Washington for the Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act of 2026. This bill was officially reintroduced just a few days ago on March 5th by a bipartisan group of lawmakers who realized that the SSI program hasn't been meaningfully updated since the 1970s. Think about that for a second. The asset limits for SSI are still stuck at $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for couples. In today's economy, having more than $2,000 in the bank doesn't make you wealthy, but under the current rules, it makes you ineligible for the help you need. The Restoration Act aims to explode those limits, raising them to $10,000 for individuals and $20,000 for couples. This would be a life-changing shift, allowing people to actually save for an emergency, like a car repair or a medical bill, without the constant fear of being kicked off their benefits. The act also targets what many call the marriage penalty. Currently, if 2 people on SSI get married, they receive a reduced rate compared to 2 single people living together. The 2026 legislation proposes to eliminate that penalty entirely, ensuring that couples receive the full double rate of an individual. Furthermore, it would raise the basic benefit level to 100% of the federal poverty level. Right now, the maximum SSI payment is around $994, which is technically below the poverty line. Lawmakers are arguing that the government shouldn't be providing a safety net that intentionally keeps people in poverty. While this bill is currently moving through committees, the level of bipartisan support we are seeing this month is higher than it has been in years, largely because the 2026 inflation data has made it clear that the current system is broken. For our veterans, the changes hitting in March are equally significant. VA disability compensation is also tied to that same 2.8% COLA increase, but the payment schedule works differently. VA benefits are paid in arrears, meaning the payment you received on March 2nd was actually for the month of February. As we move deeper into March, the VA is also grappling with the new PACT Act backlogs. There are thousands of new claims being processed for toxic exposure, and the VA is warning that this could lead to slight delays in special monthly compensation adjustments. If you are a veteran with a rating of 30% or higher, make sure your dependent information is fully updated in the system this month. With the new 2026 rates, a veteran with a spouse and 1 child at a 100% disability rating is now seeing over $4,300 a month. But if your paperwork is even slightly out of date, you could be missing out on hundreds of dollars in added dependent pay that you are legally entitled to. There is also a major Slam the Scam initiative that launched on March 5th and is continuing through this week. The Social Security Administration and the Office of the Inspector General are sounding the alarm because scammers are using the March 7th system overhaul as a way to trick people. You might get a call or a text saying, your local office is closing due to the new national system, and you need to reactivate your benefits by giving us your Social Security number. This is a 100% lie. The SSA will never call you out of the blue to ask for your number or demand payment via gift card or wire transfer. The National Workload Management System is an internal change. It does not change how you log into your My Social Security account or how you receive your money. If anyone tells you otherwise, hang up immediately. as we navigate the rest of March. The most important thing you can do is stay proactive. If you haven't already, you need to set up or log into your My Social Security account online. This is now the primary way the agency wants to communicate with you. In the past, you could wait for a letter in the mail, but with the new centralized system, digital notices are becoming the standard. In fact, if you want to see exactly how the March 11th changes affect your specific dollar amount, including those Medicare deductions, the Message Center in your online account is where that information is posted first. The transition to a national, tech-driven system is a double-edged sword. On one hand, the agency reports that the disability claim backlog has already been reduced by about 30% since they started testing these upgrades last year. On the other hand, finance experts are warning that complicated cases, the ones that involve multiple sources of income, workers' compensation, or specific state disability overlaps, are seeing a bumpy transition. If your case is complex, don't assume the computer is getting it right. Check your March 11th statement against your February statement. If the math doesn't add up, or if that 2.8% increase doesn't look like 2.8%, you need to use the new National Appointment Scheduling Calendar to book a review as soon as possible. We are living through a period of massive administrative change. From the missing SSI payments to the national workload shift and the potential for a total SSI restoration, the rules of the game are being rewritten this month. Whether you're a retiree, a disabled worker, or a veteran, you're part of a system that is currently in flux. Staying informed isn't just a good idea, it's a financial necessity. We are going to keep tracking every update, every bill moving through Congress, and every change to the payment calendar to make sure you never miss a dollar that you've earned. Make sure you keep a close eye on your bank account over the next 48 hours as the March 11th deposits settle. If you're in the second or third birthday groups, your time is coming on the 18th and 25th, but the rules we've discussed today apply to you just as much. The more you know about how the SSA and VA operate behind the scenes, the better you can protect yourself and your family. We are in this together, and we'll be here every step of the way to break down the news as it happens. The changes hitting on March 11th are just the tip of the iceberg for 2026. With the Social Security Administration shifting to this new national model and Congress finally moving on the SSI Restoration Act, the rules are being rewritten in real time. If you aren't staying updated, you are essentially leaving your hard-earned benefits to chance. And in this economy, nobody can afford to do that. We are committed to being your eyes and ears in Washington, breaking down every complex announcement into the facts you actually need to protect your check. But we can't reach everyone alone. Subscribe and hit that notification bell right now. We post updates the second news breaks, and you do not want to be the last person to find out your payment date has shifted or your Medicare premiums have jumped. Share this video immediately, whether it's on Facebook, in a text to a fellow veteran, or at your local senior center. This information is a lifeline. Let's make sure no one in our community is caught off guard by a missing SSI check or a new administrative bottleneck. Comment below with your March 11th status. Have you seen your deposit hit yet? Are you seeing that 2.8% COLA reflected correctly? Or is Medicare taking more than you expected? Your feedback helps us track how these changes are actually affecting real people across the country. Your voice matters, and your financial security is our priority. Thank you for watching, stay vigilant, and we will see you in the very next update.